Welcome, adventurers. Here at Kenko Adventures, we always say the real Peru isn't just stunning views, it's the living culture.
Absolutely. And today we're diving right into the heart of that culture in Cusco.
We're exploring Inti Raymi, the incredible festival of the sun.
Think of this as your shortcut, really, to understanding the Andes. These celebrations, they're key. Knowing about Inti Raymi genuinely deepens any trip to Peru.
So our mission today, unpack the history, the rituals, and why this ancient Inca party happening every June 24th still matters so much. Let's jump in.
Where do we start? The beginning, I suppose.
Yeah, let's go back. Inti Raymi, it was established by the big one, Sapa Inca Pachacutec, around 1430.
Right.
And the purpose was pretty clear. Honor Inti, the sun god. It marked the winter solstice, the Inca New Year. It was the most important date for them.
It really was. And you know what's fascinating, and scholars like John Rowe really highlight this, is how it wasn't just religious.
Oh.
Well, it was also deeply political. A way to show off the Sapa Inca's divine power, And Maria Roswarowski adds that it was crucial for unity, bringing together all these different groups from across the empire through these shared rituals.
So spiritual and empire building. Clever.
Very. Imagine one event doing both.
But then
Yeah.
it stopped. I read it was suppressed in 1572. Viceroy Francisco de Toledo, he thought it was pagan.
That's right. He banned it.
So how did something so central, so vital, just bounce back? Was it kept alive secretly or?
Well, elements were certainly kept alive in communities through oral tradition.
Right.
But the public festival, that was different. It wasn't a slow creep back. It was actually a deliberate revival.
Really? When?
1944. A man named Faustino Espinosa Navarro spearheaded it. He basically created this amazing theatrical reenactment using Inca Garcilaso de la Vega's chronicles as a major source.
Garcilaso. We'll come back to him.
Definitely. And now this Revive Festival, it's recognized officially as cultural heritage of the nation. It's huge.
Okay, so let's get into the heart of it now. The rituals, the traditions. What did it look like back then?
Historically, it was a 9-day affair. Pretty intense. Started with purification, fasting.
9 days.
Yeah. Then on the main day, June 24th, the Sapa Inca himself led this huge procession. It started at Qorikancha, the Temple of the Sun.
Which you can still visit today. It's incredible.
Exactly. And they'd proceed to Huaycara, which is basically the modern Plaza de Armas in Cusco.
And what happened during these ceremonies? What were the key rituals?
Well, there were specific offerings. Lots of chicha de jora, that's the fermented corn drink. Also, simulated llama sacrifices, important symbolically. They read coca leaves for divination.
Trying to see the future.
Sort of, yeah. Predicting the year ahead. And tons of traditional dances, music, each representing different parts of the vast empire. It was a real display of diversity, all united.
Okay, so fast forward to today. How does the modern version compare? You mentioned it's theatrical.
It is, but it follows that historical structure, just
Yeah.
condensed and, adapted for an audience. It unfolds across 3 main spots in Cusco.
Right. Stage 1.
Qorikancha still starts there, with a ceremony honoring the sun. That's about maybe 45 minutes.
And
Then the procession moves to the Plaza de Armas. More dances, music, lots of color. That takes about an hour. It's very public, vibrant.
the grand finale.
That's up at Sacsayhuamán, the incredible Inca fortress overlooking Cusco. That's the main event, the big theatrical representation.
How big are we talking?
Huge. Over 800 actors, elaborate costumes, music from putas, those the conch shell horns, drums.
Mm-hmm.
They reenact the rituals, the symbolic offerings. It lasts about 2 hours. It's quite the spectacle.
Wow, so connecting this back, it's clear this was way more than just a festival.
Absolutely. It tells you so much about how Inca culture, politics, even economics were woven together. Thanking the sun for harvests, yes, but also reinforcing power, redistributing goods, celebrating unity. Garcilaso and Roswarowski both talk about this.
And today it feels like it's taken on another layer too, like indigenous pride.
Exactly. It's become a powerful symbol of cultural resistance and identity. Adapting these ancient traditions for today's world, as Sabine McCormack might put it, it shows how tradition can be both resilient and relevant.
Now, you mentioned Inca Garcilaso de la Vega earlier. His chronicles are kind of the main source for the historical details, right?
They are incredibly important, yes. But we do need to read them with a little context.
Because he was mixed race, son of a conquistador and an Inca noblewoman.
Precisely. So his account, while invaluable, might be a bit idealized. Looking back at the Inca passed through perhaps slightly rose-tinted glasses.
So how do we get a clearer picture?
Well, that's where modern scholars like Rostorowski and Rowe and others come in. They don't just rely on Garcilaso. They use other chronicles too, people like Pedro César de Leon, Martín de Murua, and archaeological evidence. Cross-referencing everything gives us a much more nuanced understanding. Multiple perspectives are key.
Makes sense. So bringing it to the present day, this festival is massive now, isn't it?
Oh, enormous. It's the second largest festival in all of South America. Thousands and thousands of tourists come every year.
Which must be a huge boost for Cusco.
Definitely. Big economic impact. But more than that, it really reinforces the cultural identity of the Cusqueños, the people of Cusco. It's their heritage, alive and kicking.
And that date, June 24th, that wasn't the original solstice date, exactly right.
Not precisely the astronomical solstice, no.
Ooh.
But the date chosen for the modern revival in the 20th century is interesting. June 24th also happens to be Indigenous Peoples' Day in Peru and the Catholic feast day of St. John the Baptist.
Ah, so it's this blend again.
Exactly. A perfect example of that fusion, that syncretism you see so often in Peruvian culture. Indigenous roots intertwining with colonial history, adapting, surviving, flourishing. It's quite beautiful, really.
It sounds incredible. So if you, our listener, are feeling ready to dive headfirst into the living history of the Inca Empire, Tawantinsuyo, if you want to truly feel the depth of Andean heritage,
You have to experience it.
you really do. Kenko Adventures invites you to join us in Cusco. Be there on June 24th, 2025. See Inti Raymi for yourself. Walk those ancient streets, feel the energy of the procession, witness that amazing climax at Sacsayhuamán.
Unforgettable.
Truly. And maybe think about this. What traditions in your own world, your own culture, have shown that kind of staying power, that ability to connect people across centuries? It makes you realize history isn't just something past. It's right here, living and breathing with us.